to aye de oye no chikata ya krokro no ya fufu tokoko ne ko sua to so no odi chikata aye the cross examination atugu ba musa da se chikata da be na be wie ana wo wie una ya o television obusa bi da ade na de bia obi na no obusa France ya lawyer Addison wo wie obeka na anu a betu asema head no obusa Addison say na wo wie Addison si menwe enra ya sa we sorry yi no say obusa say wo wie na wo wie a on kan kire una be obusa so wo wie na wo wie e de nko na tugu ba pa e titintina Addison wo wie adan tape no ya bo afada tape no a wo kan no verification no vote no ya bo
na mo kan sem so no ndo nim so
be say atwetan ya ente this had no twetan sanate e nyame wo ya wie bo be se no ani mo nyam enokura be dadi am ya bon kontompo senuam no tena akronfo eba kromu a ye nyina sipampim na ya fe akronfo ne apamo magu ayim dotom baby na se be bom to abom to efize akronfo hon de nyame ehunu ko bie no botuma win elections okromada do mama kronfo na mo mache wa
president
oh ya mo kronfo
wa wi ade am
mo kronfo papa
wa wi ade am
kronfo tachi amoa
ya ka se prove abetu
oh abaya no nwam
nyesa banyo na conduct election
na be kronfo ko wi ade na to awon to akronne na to akronne won ti se kronfo e dey asem ya no keka trenia kronfo ko wi ade na wo de bro na to akronne a court e ne tumu a wo so de utum
some susu se krono akoso di na mo court no
anu na me kan da ntimi na me nya ka mo court wo asem so pa eni da ho fine na me judge for no minimum papa omo be kan no kra papa omo be kan no kra eti anya dia me se bi to me so kra be omo gidie na mo ba ko na me ru bi otimu a oni obi na no ma warning obi na no ma warning na me ka che se o ntimi hu aye abontin e be ka bi so peso hu obi a menti da so ti court dem ho aka se John Mama ke kan se bi enye na John Mama o man warning o to ase mo se paper reference daily guide akwaka bibi na judge so daily guide o kan ka bi London ko busa House of Lords for no the laws that you say papers ko ka bia o di asemu a muntutu mo adwem judge for no munya papers no kai na munya radio no tie na mo men kan asem abonten na mo hwɛ evidence na mo fani asem no na munya asem mo se mo huna yɛn sɛ yɛ kan asem so mo men kan wo to na huna obi na adese kasa no mu na say sabosom na si ho adese kasa na mo kana no asi fam adese ya na de abai no na chikata de na ebusan say Mr. Chikata, are you angry sir adese de o ma me wu papa wunti no oni obi a to oni
live on your multi TV. Let me just give a quick background to the audio clip that we just played. It is not out of nothing. It is premised on some misunderstanding right here and on Majority Caucus platform, to the extent that we want to put on record that when we come onto this platform, we actually do not even have the power to denigrate the Supreme Court. Indeed, it is not our business to act in a manner that will be injurious to the integrity of the Supreme Court. What we can only do is to observe and perhaps proffer some opinions. And whilst we are doing that, if some perhaps people are not too enthused with some of the submissions that are made, you are free. That is why we constantly want to engage our viewers. We open the phone line so you can make your contributions. But I had the unpleasant occasion of being informed of one Samson Ladi Ayeni. I was told he's the host of News File, who what he did was basically to take a voice on the show, transcribe it, read it word for word, ostensibly pitching me against a possible contempt of court. I really do not know why he would do that, and I don't know why he did that, or if that is indeed the intention behind what he did. But I just want to state that it it is important that in our journalistic practices, we always strive for a balance, and that the reason for playing this voice is just to make a point that there has been many voices of comments that is not within my capacity to determine whether they are contemptuous or not. But one would expect that a host of such a flagship program, you would want to try not to give the semblance of any lineage to any particular political party, and to the extent that it is only one side that was presented, and many have had yet the greatest indication that perhaps this is not the best. It's marks of bias. It did not show a neutral sense of journalism, and that there are many voices. Why didn't you go for the voice and transcribed? Indeed, like I said earlier, our business here is not to denigrate any court. We are not interested in committing contempt. It lies to nobody's benefit here. So I really don't get it. So Mr. Samson Ladi, what I said on Tuesday, I will make no attempt to even go there again, but just to recap on an interview granted by Jimanuel Jimabuedi, who was the CDD, that is Center for Democratic Development Ghana. This is in 2008. You can actually get this on Ghana Web. Let me just quote the relevant portion. He said, earlier Thursday, Ghana Center for Democratic Development, CDD Ghana, a pro-democracy NGO, said it was deeply disturbed by the NPP's attempt to stall the transition through legal action. And he went further to say, and I quote, "While this is within the party's right, even a legal victory will not overturn the political and electoral mandate of the December 28th vote." CDD's director, Jimabuedi. So perhaps the concept was not fully appreciated, and that is why maybe comments were taken out of context. And so I just want to put everything in the proper perspective. We have no business in denigrating the court. We don't benefit from such irresponsible conduct. So Mr. Samson Ladi, I've also been informed that not too long ago you graduated from the law school. So I strongly appeal to you that anytime you would want to set an agenda using voices from majority caucus, please do make sure that you at least give some sense of neutrality and impartiality. It is very, very necessary in our world of business, especially when you're on a neutral platform as a news fan. Thank you very much for that. I have been joined in the studio by my guest. I have Prince Derek Eje, who is the Deputy Coordinator of the National Youth Authority, also member of Government Communication Team. Also in the studio tonight is Fred Agbenyo, a member of Government Communication Team. Well, tonight we are looking at the President assurance that they are going to construct all the roads, some significant roads, such as the stretch from 37 Roundabout to Labadi Beach, and other roads that are very important within the central location of Accra and thereof. So tonight we look at the President's assurances and his achievement. Last week we attempted to do so, but we could not finish. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for your time here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, let me just take your comment quickly on this before we come to the issue of the promise. This thing that it is important that as communicators you guard yourself, you mind your language. Obviously, I mean, the law justices have stated that they want criticisms, but of course your words must be measured.
Well, Ali, thank you very much, and let me say good evening to our viewers. I think that it is in the interest of all Ghanaians that steps are taken by state institutions to protect and correct all of us who, for one reason or the other, may want to go out of the norm, the laid down procedure. As a person, I was becoming very worried prior to the elections, and during the election and shortly after the election, what we were doing in this country, especially those of us who have opportunity on radio and television, the kind of things that we're saying, especially against state institutions. You know, it's not as if these state institutions came into being from the vacuum. We established them per the constitution because we think that they will be of some benefit to us. So if the same people who set up this institution now start running the institutions down per our commentaries and the things we say about the men and women who are working in those institutions, I don't really think that it will help anybody. Look at what you have done to the police as an institution. Nobody will say that there are no challenges within the police service. Nobody will say that there are no badness among the police service. They themselves agree that there are some people within their folks who are not conducting themselves well. Occasionally, we should be able to single them out and blame them. But when we lamb up the entire institution, run them down, condemn them, we demoralize the desire to even serve the very purpose of which it was established. Talk about electoral commission. Look at what you have done to Dr. Farijan. Every day I sit back and ask myself, so if this man were to be my father, or a family member, a Ghanaian, who since we started this democratic dispensation, he has been the chairman, he has been there, he has worked, taken us through a number of elections. And there is no single election from 1951, the very first elections, before even independence that we had in this country, there were problems. 54 elections came. Thereafter, all the later we have had. But look what they have done to the man. We've run the man down as though the man is electoral commission. People will attack him, attack even his family, attack everybody. You know, and it is worrying. We have moved beyond that. Look what they've done to even our parliament. So today I was coming here and I was listening on a radio station. Parliament is trying to come out with a bill or something to regulate the conduct of members of parliament. And some of them say, why? They're adults. Nobody should control them. They should allow them to do some of the things that they do. We have heard a few members from that house, the way they've spoken, the way they've conducted themselves, which have given some members of the side opportunity to also talk back like that. At the end of the day, it is not those individuals that we are creating problems for, but it's the entire society or the whole country. We live in a country today. Look at, I heard the tape you just played. This somebody supposed to be the general secretary of the biggest opposition party in this country. And that comment was made after the touchline warning. After the touchline warning, he sees on national radio, call a sitting president a thief. Mahama is a thief. Even attempt to correct him, that you can't say that. He said, no, the man is a thief. Without any basis. And I will be very, very, very surprised if this thing is not taken to the attention of the Supreme Court. Because these comments were made after the final warning was given. After the final warning, to the extent that even the president of the bench, did you hear the things he said about him? Just at Cuba, we heard the things said about him. The man is biased. He trusts, he knows that. He said, the man categorically said that, language. Well, he knows the judges over there. It's only 1 on 2. How does he know them? When he says he knows them, how does he know them? Do you understand? How does he know them? For him to say categorically that as for them, they are going to win. He is very sure that everybody will get to know who the thieves are, who stole the election. He knows the judges, he knows some of them. It is only 2. The president is one other person he didn't mention that he cannot trust. How does he know them? Where does he meet them? What do they do together? What is giving that assurance? You understand? And I think that one of the justices said something the day our colleagues appeared before them. I think that was on Tuesday. That it is not that they are the tallest and the strongest people in society. It is a constitution that has given them the power to be there as the justices. They are not going to be there forever and ever. You took the issue to the court. They have other things to do. Now you have taken the issue to the court. The Chief Justice couldn't sit on the case. He appoints the next in command to sit in the case. You go and sit on national radio, run the man down, run the president down, exhort and castigate everybody. Because you are general secretary of the party, we are waiting. And I am sure just the same way the Supreme Court, they've heard about other cases, others have been heard before them, others have been cautioned, what have you. I am waiting to see what will happen to the general secretary of the NPP. We are waiting.
And I also pray that the new is that the name? Is it some newspaper called the New State? The New Statesman.
Akufado's father's paper.
Oh, okay.
Is that not it? Akufado's father's paper has moved in succession.
They will see it necessary.
Yes, I pray it becomes a front page story so that at least the Supreme Court can have access to it. I think that what we are doing to ourselves. I sit back and I ask myself, Ali, is it the case that Ghana has come to an end? 2012 election. Why are we not going to move on again as a nation?
But even with the Statesman reportage, clearly it looks to me like they've been discredited way beyond imagination because they were compelled to even publish an apology or a retraction. And
well, it is not for us on this platform to say whether they've been discredited. Okay. I think that the whole world have heard it. Attempt to equalize.
Yeah, the equalization.
So you move to Ashanti region, go and pick our regional youth organizer. He was not on radio. He didn't make any comment. You put it on front of your newspaper just to discredit the man. And guess what they did? When they cross-check and they realize they've made a mistake, if it was not a deliberate thing, they would have come with the apology long before the day they even went to the court. But they waited until the Tuesday that the gentleman was supposed to appear in court before they came in to retract the story. And even then, they found it necessary to put in somewhere that the guy made the statement long before the line was drawn. So clearly, everybody who is watching, everybody who is monitoring, can tell what is happening in this country. And some of us, we are not really surprised. The NPP told us prior to the elections that 2012 elections, they must win at all costs. They must win at all costs. And I don't know the interpretation of the meaning we give to that at all costs. And this was not said by no other person, by the candidate himself, Nana Addo. We heard those who said that if the elections, Nana Addo is not declared a president, Afghanistan. We heard those who spoke about Gloria War. We heard those who said that even what is happening in Côte d'Ivoire, it is the same Ashantis who are doing it over there. They can do it here. We heard several things from very senior members of NPP. So if today we are finished these elections, and they said, well, for them, they won the election, they think that something went wrong, to the extent that President Mahama, a man the people of this country have voted for, they queued in the scorching sun to vote for. Now you can sit on radio. I'm not surprised. One of the parliamentary member of parliament, I think Domiko Abenya, in one of those forum they call it My Vote Count. Virtually even sang composed a song where insinuated in Ghana that the president was a thief.
That's Eslaus.
That's what I'm talking about. Virtually said the president is a thief. What happened to him? Did anybody call him? And this somebody is supposed to be a member of parliament with a title honorable. And I was thinking that even parliament itself will peg itself with some of these things by inviting people like that to privilege this committee. If I should say something derogatory about him today, tomorrow morning they'll be looking for me to appear before the committee. So she said this, a member of parliament, nothing happened. The general secretary have come to said it. So everybody's watching. And Ghanaians are watching. Ghanaians are listening. They should continue.
I'm happy that Ghanaians are sending people.
I say every day, my people of Akpafu have a saying that the sheep is defecating and spoiling the town. This is his own tail that is spoiling. They should go ahead. Okay, Prince, on that proverb, your perspective on this garden communicators being mindful of their words. You need to be measured, Some even say your words must be tempered. So you'll be cautious in your delivery.
Well, thank you, and good evening to your viewers and listeners. I think that I recall the last time that His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama had a word with us as a team. His words have always been, be measured. You don't need to go out insulting. You don't need to say things that are, disparaging of people and so on. And I think that has been his style. In fact, he's one of the best communicators. I don't know whether it's on the continent or the world. I mean, even the NPP people call him a communicator. And he does that by deed and by word. If you look at the former President Mills also, he had a similar, demeanor. You would insult him and he would even pray for you at worst, So I think that if we are to draw from those who have occupied a high office, including even President Kufuor, they are men of a certain character. And so I am happy, at least grateful to the people of Ghana for electing such a man as president. And I think that anything to the contrary would have been a slap in the faces of Ghanaians, really. So I think that I would urge not just the NDC communicators, but everyone who has the opportunity of a microphone in his face or her face to say things that would push this country forward. We are in difficult times. I mean, we must acknowledge this country is not at the verge of collapse. Indeed, this country will not die. This country will live, as President Mills had said. But those who want to burn the country, those who want to burn the markets, those who want to burn down anything in sight, I can assure them that we have not just the security services, but we have a God up there. And those who intend to insult every institution and the personalities that are at the helm of those institutions, well, we live to see what happens. I think that bottom line, if the people are not deserving of those statements, if those statements are not factual, if they are not true, then don't say it. If there are things that are factual, by all means say it. And I don't think that anyone is advocating for people to be gagged. If there are things that are factual, say them. But if there are things that are not factual or insulting, don't. I mean, that's my advice I'd give. As for the issues of contempt, I think that it's very clear today, having listened to Sir John's voice again, and I always say that the man is a clown. Honestly, I mean, that is my view of him. I mean, you listen to him on radio every day, and what he does is comedy communication. But on this particular network, in terms of the thing I heard, that does not fall in line with his usual style of comedy communication, which is actually a style. Some people do, they have a style of ridicule to discredit. This is not ridiculing the presiding judge. This is direct insult. Not just of the presiding judge, direct insult of the president. And, well, I leave it to the court to determine what should be made of him. If the media decide to highlight it, fine. But as for the Japadia newspaper, I don't think they are going to, I mean, the one that the father gave to the son, that he gave to his nephews, and the nephews, and that one, I don't see it happening. The Japadia, the statesman, it's not happening. But whether they publish it or not, I believe that there are much more serious newspapers in the country, much more serious online media. I think my Joy Online should be interested. I don't know about Samson. Who did he say? Samson something.
Samson Ladi.
Yeah, that gentleman.
Maybe you can give me the
I think
the tape.
no. That
but
he's been recording. Yeah, so
Majority Caucus.
so let's see what happens this
Strangely, the only
Saturday.
voice he picked was on that topic.
If
No,
by
repeat this one.
if by Saturday, if by Saturday news file, God willing, let's hope that He gives us all long life, and we live to see Samson host the program. Unless he's changed, and he does not, read out what Sir John has said, and does not use an excuse that it's in Tree and he does not understand Tree. Between now and Saturday, he can have it transcribed into English. Even Portuguese can be transcribed into English. So please, Samson, that's an assignment for you.
Yeah. Okay, on that note, quickly, let me just announce that earlier today, Stephen Atubiga was released from the Akuse prisons, and since then he's been having a party and enjoying, meeting family and friends, and some of us were there to welcome him, and it's a lesson learned, and that's the more reason we keep reminding the viewers that this platform is a serious one. If you have nothing useful to add, maybe you might want to keep that comment to yourself, because we do constructive analysis. We just say it simply as it is. We do not mince words, and we state matters and discuss them, objectively. So we are not in the business of committing contempt. We don't do that here. Sadly, you won't get us there. We saw the Ashaman incident, and subsequently the president has been on a tour in Accra, or certain part of Accra, to inspect some roads and major infrastructure development. Would you say that this is a delayed response to what the people of Ashama wanted and their community, portable roads, and making sure that they are well maintained too?
I don't know, what a difficult subject for me to discuss. Difficult in the sense that I'm a Ghanaian first and foremost. If our roads are bad, it affects me, it affects everybody else. I wouldn't say that because my party is in power. If there's something we needed to have done that we didn't do, I shouldn't talk about it. I think that it's not for nothing we have the local government system, where leadership of this country is not centered only at the presidency, but it trickles down to the very ordinary, in quote, people. Everybody is part of the governance structure. We have right from the president to the vice to parliament, all the way to the regional ministers, to the district assemblies and the MCs. We have member of parliament, we have the area committee members, we have the unit committee members. All these people are leaders in line. You see, when you live in a society where there is no effective or adequate communication, people are left in darkness, and they are bound or they are compelled to take the law into their own hands and do things that ordinarily they wouldn't have done. Anybody who had visited Ashama before that incident occurred really will complain about the state of the road. If you know Ashama very well, it is virtually a 2-lane community. 2-lane, the one that's coming from Ashama Secondary School, the one that is from the overhead, meets at the traffic light, through the market, and anytime you go to Ashama, look at the traffic, because we don't have several access roads. Now, I know that that road has been in that state for only God knows when, until we came to power in 2009, when we started some work on that road, the one towards Lebanon and beyond. I was passing that road. I have a next house there, so I've been going there. My families are there. And they started working on that road. Along the line, I realized the work was not going as they started. You and I may know the reasons. It may have to do maybe with some financing, some money here and there. Because don't forget, when we took over office, several projects were initiated by the former administration. There was no funding, no source of funding for the projects. They became abattoir around our neck. Remember the famous the gang of 4, we called them at the time. How to source for funding to get those road fees was really a problem. What I would have expected, especially at Shama, we have an FM station there now. Sena FM is there. I thought that the district chief executive, the area committee members, the members of parliament will keep the people along by telling them exactly what is happening. That yes, we know we have a difficulty. The road is not good. We are making effort. We are trying to get the resources to have the road fees so that the people know exactly what is happening. I spoke to a few people, I spoke to a few drivers, and it's like nobody's talking to them. Nobody's telling them anything. So they were left in a feast as though people have forgotten. And look at what happened. When they demonstrated, just the night of the demonstration, somehow people have gotten sand to go and pour on the road. Some work quickly started on the road.
Was that a knee-jerk reaction?
And for me, it's unacceptable. Why do you wait for people to move before you do that? Reactionary. Why can't you just take the first step?
Perhaps they need prompting.
Who should be doing that? You understand? Now, the president ideally occasionally will come down. We want to walk around, drive around, look at what is happening in terms of development. But seriously, I don't think the president moved this time around was because of that demonstration necessarily. It's something he has been doing. He wants to find out what is happening. We all know this energy crisis is going to Takoradi, it's going to Bui, it's going to several areas to know what is happening over there. It is true that if you drive around this whole country and look at our road infrastructure, we seriously need to sit up. There's a lot that we need to do. Okay. Ali, before 2008 elections, when you live in Accra and then you hear our brothers talk about the number of roads that we have faced, you thought that,
there's no need to construct any road.
Construct road. But when we started a campaign, we have to move around the country and say, wow. Ali, go to the Upper East, go to the Upper West, go to the Northern region, go to Volta, not even head, go to Western region. From Takwa to Prestia, Jesus Christ. You know, so we have a challenge. I am very, very happy the president came out and said, listen, we know we have problems. He has prompted the Ministry of Finance and the Ministry of Road and Highways that they should quickly mobilize some resources and get those that are very pressing. They should get those one phase once we mobilize more resources and fix all the roads that we have in the country. So the assurance we want to give the people of this country is that we are very much aware. We know how difficult it is to travel from Boga to Boku. A very short road can take more than 3 hours. We know all this problem. Government is aware. And it's not as if government is sleeping at all. You remember we were trying to source some funding, this Chinese $3 billion. Some part of that money was to go into road infrastructure.
That loan hasn't come.
And unfortunately, that loan has not come. Today as we speak, because of these whole court problems, donor countries and agencies that are supposed to assist us with money so we can do some of these things, everybody somehow
they have been very skeptical.
Is holding back. So the inflows are not coming as we expected. People are saying yes, and now we are even getting oil from here. When people have entered into arrangements and agreements, all the oil we are getting from here, the whole of Ghana is only 13% that is coming to us.
That's serious.
13%.
We are not even up to 20 or 15.
We are not up to even 15 or 20.
And so
somebody knew that by 2010, they were getting.
What was the percentage? Just for bringing the people, the EU group, just for bringing
3.5%.
Just for bringing them.
Yes.
From 3 individuals.
3 individuals.
That's serious.
When the whole country was going for 13%. We knew that by 2010, we were going to start with that oil project. So one would have thought that the gas infrastructure, that which would have benefited majority the country, should have been put in place immediately. What happened before we came to office? Nothing.
Your gas pipeline is now ready.
Yeah, thank God the West Africa gas pipeline is now ready. And building some of this infrastructure doesn't take a day or two. It takes years. You can't build a gas plant within a year or two.
Certainly not.
So we sincerely appreciate that we have difficulties, especially with road infrastructure. The Eastern Corridor Road, Professor Mose, President Mahama, they were so much concerned that traveling from Accra to Tamale, if you go to the Volta region, I am told you are able to save close to 5 hours, as per going through Kumasi, through Kitampo, all the way to Tamale. So we know the work that started on that road. That road was divided into 7 lots. Works is going on at various stages of completion. There are still difficulties. We are not running away from it. The president is very much aware, and everything is being done to fix the problems. I say every day that the difference between NPP and NDC is that whereas NDC will want to find a lasting solution, NPP will do it for the sake of what? Political power. Let's create something. Let's rename something.
Something that will not be sustainable.
The thing will not be sustainable.
Okay.
So I am just pleading for this country to just bear with us. It is for all of us. Let's join hands and definitely we'll have some of these issues resolved.
Yeah. Whilst we do the discussion, it's when you said they should bear with us, the situation in Egypt just came to mind. We are not discussing that. I intend to have a special session with some Middle East experts, in the studio, so they can brief us properly on that. Where one or two things are not going well, and you just abandon your democratic practices, you go to the street and you topple your government. Prince, any achievement really? On Tuesday we did the media review. This time it looks like route specific. There are some lapses. Any hope?
Well, thank you. I think that just to buttress what my colleague Fred had said about the NDC's penchant for doing lasting things that would be a legacy, and its comparison to the NPP that would just do a gimmick.
Okay.
I think last week we looked at the police, and I said that if anyone could find any of the, the police vehicles, the Peugeots that President Kufuor brought, come for some money. Nobody has so far come forward
to go for that.
Today the NDC has given vehicles that you can see would, stand the test of time, and not just putting them on the road ramp, like just for show, but they are not being abused. Some are packed strategically to, be deployed when necessary. So again, we are being very mindful of even the fuel, because you look at the vehicles and people are talking about, the capacity of the engine and performance and so on. And we are not abusing that system at all. In like manner, the president has a plan to do various things. He's a hands-on president. If you see how he even dresses, it's either semi-casual, casual, and very sparingly, very official, unless the situation demands it. This is a hands-on person. He likes to move about and get the work done. He is interested in working for you. It was not just sloganeering. In fact, those who talk about Sherman, if we were to leave this studio and say we're heading to Ashama, we'll definitely pass through the runabout, the Kitokashi runabout. Now, I'd like to give you 2 scenarios. On the motorway, before NDC came, there were street lights. They never worked.
No.
They were done as a gimmick, proud to the hosting of heads of states for the 50th Ghana 50.
Yes.
That is the NPP legacy for it. It never works. That's a gimmick. Today,
When you go to the motorway, there are new street lights. In fact, the previous street lights were never even straight.
Yeah.
There's one that was most straight was like this. That is NPP, crooked.
Okay.
NDC, straight and functional. You can even find a pin when it drops when the lights are on. Security is cardinal. When we talk of, when NDC was campaigning, it said jobs, stability, development.
Yeah.
Stability requires security. So even in the course of doing one item, everything is properly planned to execute and create in the mix these three elements. These are promises that are meant to be fulfilled. This document is a living document. That is what the president is focused on. Now, you see, I live in Dansoman. Eslawusu lives in Dansoman, the one who calls the president all sorts of names.
Yeah.
Or moved to Dansoman in order to be able to qualify to run for.
She remarried. Is it true? I saw in some newspaper reportage.
Well,
I mean, that's not a topic for our discussion.
Eslawusu's affairs are not mine. In fact,
Okay.
she's married an Akufo.
I don't know the name of the husband.
Well, I don't want to go into these realms because
That's
there are
okay.
other rumors also doing the rounds about Kennedy.
The road.
About
The road.
Kennedy's situation in the
Let's
I'm sure
focus on the discussion.
Okay, good. Now she went to stand at the last stop roundabout and indicated that there are no roads in Dansoman. In fact, life is interesting. Residents of Ablekuma West, I entreat everybody who knows Dansoman to indicate whether we are lying or we are telling the truth to the people of Ghana who live elsewhere. Dansoman roads had more potholes than roads that had flat surfaces for your cars to move on during the before era. In fact, Dansoman roads had not seen proper asphalt. Coal tar was what was on it. Today, under His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the NDC 1 and 2, A and B, as in Professor Mills Mahama, you have first-class roads in Dansoman, asphalted, thick asphalt, not just asphalt. Dansoman roads had never had street lights on the median. It's a dual carriageway, either direction, even zebra crossing. There was never even zebra crossing on the Dansoman highway. It was supposed to be the Dansoman highway. That's the initial name that is on the books, but it had never been a highway. Today, you have a dual carriage highway, street lights, proper demarcations, asphalt. You have runabouts that have been mowed, that have even fountain coming up. You have, pedestrian walkway, bicycle walkway. Look, Eslawusu, which Ghana does she live in? The NPP. They live in a different world. Anyway, let's Dansoman and let's come to Ashaman. I want to assure all the residents of Ashaman that in like manner, the president said something, and I want to paraphrase what he said. Everything cannot be done today. We will not finish everything we started today. At least the Ashaman residents can attest to what quality work has been done. And if the Ashaman roads are as bad as they are, that was how the Ashaman roads were before. So when the president says we will do it, trust me, if you're a resident of Ashaman, please just take an excursion around Dansoman and let your heart be in the right place because it is coming to you. I would like to take this book and tell particularly the MPP skeptics that when we say that we're looking at road networks, this document, Advancing the Better Ghana, on page 53, and I'm sure they all have copies.
That's a manifesto.
Yeah.
That's an NDC manifesto. Does not talk about roads in isolation. It talks about it within the context of transport.
Okay.
And we don't look at just one form of roads. We're looking at all types of roads. We're looking at the highways, the urban roads, the feeder roads, and so on.
Prince,
and then we look.
Yeah, I just want you to hold on quickly. Let me go for this quick commercial break. When we come back, the show continues. Stay with me. Hello, welcome back to the show. This is Majority Caucus Live with me, Ali Dawood, on your multi TV. Earlier, we played a voice before the start of the show, and that was the voice of lawyer. I do forget his name, Owusu Afriye, aka Sir John. So don't get it twisted. That's the General Secretary of the MPP. I have a text here from Ferguson. He said, Ali, it is our calmness. It is our just a moment. It is our calmness that is still fetching us the undecided voter votes. Retaliation will kill us before our time. The patience of GEM, that is John Ivan Sata Mills of blessed memory, and the same for JDM, John Dramani Mahama, won us the elections. We must not go on to that path with them, even though they know they come nowhere near us. In everything, the people must vote you into government, and the people are falling for us. MPP is no longer attractive because of their recent outburst. I will advise all my colleagues in the NDC to refrain from using foul language on air to reflect the true nature of who JDM is. God bless our homeland, Ghana. Thank you, Ferguson, for making your views known. Prince, you were wrapping up.
Yeah, thank you. Like I said, this document is very clear what the vision of the president is and that of the government. It is not looking at just doing roads for road's sake. Indeed, if we come to Dansman, all the link roads are also being, done into the main road to feed and to allow for diversity in terms of transportation. Similarly, if you go to other parts of Accra, the same is being done. I want to believe that it's been done in other parts of the country. In fact, if you go to East Legon and other places, Kingsby area, if you go even at the what do you call it, from Presec area, Legon,
all those places.
The Papa Jasco Road, the overpass, what's it called? Papa Jasco overpass.
I don't know.
Atomic Junction. It's been completed. Now you can drive all the way to the eastern region. I know Akufado, Gabi and Co have been, using that road very frequently. The Home Festival that was celebrated, a lot of people enjoy the festival because they were able to move out and come back in relative peace and stability. Now, we look at it as an internodal network. That is what this document, talks about. And I'd like to indicate also that it's not in isolation. Very soon, the trains will work.
It's not going to be just locomotive engine lying down idle.
Yeah. We would even have roads in the sky. This in the national airline is coming.
Indeed, it is. And so you could reach in the studio with your views, contributions, or even criticisms on 0302 211 70124. Keep the calls coming.
Some people are asking for the picture of Sir John to be posted on the screen. I mean, they said
when the voice was playing. I mean, clearly.
No, but they are asking for it if it can be done now. They say they don't know him. A lot of
I'm sure my producers will be working on that.
Because he was describing the face of another man, and they want to see how he looks like.
Yes, that is absolutely necessary and on point. Yeah, Fred, you wanted to.
Yeah, just a very quick one. I just want once again to encourage of this country that they should just remain calm. We welcome criticism. We welcome advice. We see Ghana as our baby. We are not like those who think that we should throw this country into flames. We are not like those who think that.
Hold on for me, Fred. I'll come back to you. I have Mustafa on the line.
Yeah, Dawood, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, I want to congratulate you guys for the wonderful work you are doing. I'm speaking from Takrade.
Okay.
When you look at Asankragwa and Chi Road, actually recently I passed through that road. I was very much impressive about how the government has fixed that road.
That's true. Yeah.
Because about a year ago, I passed there and it was very, very bad. But now everything has been fixed. And I appeal to my brothers and sisters in Ashama that they should exercise a little bit of patience for the government to fix the road.
Okay.
I also want to congratulate or to welcome my brother, that is Atubiga. And I want to say that we should all take cue from what has happened to him.
Indeed.
And I want to congratulate all of you, including your panelists, for having been decent in their language over the years. I've been following them quite closely, and everything is okay. So let's take you from him, and let's follow the footsteps of John Mama so that we'll build a better Ghana.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for your views. Thank you. I have Ibrahim. Hello, Ibrahim.
Ali.
Yes, sir. Wa alaikum salam. You're on air.
I think my panelists and also using this opportunity to give one of our community, Mr. Moses Amagos Parker, the CEO of the Journalistic.
Okay.
He's doing very well here in that part. Ali.
Yes, sir.
Today, I like the topic that the people have chosen. Because always quote. I see these people, these MK people, it's a well calculated.
Yeah, to make it a national agenda and topic.
To shift the goalpost. it's very good. Keep it up. This kind of education will help us very, very much.
Yeah.
Talk about the rules, networks, and it's good. It's good. My brother Fred made mention of Temper to Prestia.
Yeah.
It's very terrible. Please.
Okay.
Kindly hammer on it for us because the road is very, very bad. This kind of education, I think, will do us very good than this local sport issues.
Indeed.
We should focus much on such topics, and I think this one will do us more good than this sport. That's everything that you say is
contempt.
I think.
Ibrahim, I can assure you that we will decline the invitation to concern ourselves only with court issue. We will not do that. We have other important topics that we will discuss, and we will do so here on this platform. I have Charles. Hello, Charles.
Hello. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Please, sir, this is Charles calling from Takwari, Western region.
You're on air, Charles.
Yes, let me speak frankly so my people can understand what I want to say. Master, only be never because you can hear.
Okay.
I get to my power for that because about the time we and for the and I didn't like so you can throw in summer can the talk or kind of quarters won't go free, you know. I'm going to
Maybe
I've got to catch and so forth. Somebody never will get you.
Sometimes so evidence.
Evidence me now. Yes, but over the television. Every second I have over them. Yes, you know, because you did me about I'm sometimes some phone, and the guess. No matter what, I can't send me to. We can't send me to the video in that rabbit to him. Only new tax rabbit here. Further, the new tax rabbit, but that's a small new tax rabbit at the house. That's what happened. That's the way maybe now that I'm quite not so bad here. Let's who's shacking it in the one channel. I'm a kind of hair bear. He's not going to let me say no. I would try.
Charles, I would try. Okay, that was why Charles, that was any views, any contribution. Charles, I would try. Be patient. Hello, I have another caller.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening. Your name?
I'm Baron from Accra.
Okay, Baron, you're on air.
Yeah, I've been monitoring you since last week. The very day you opened the program, you started giving warnings.
Okay.
You give warnings all out. Even some went to the IEA post and all that. But what I want to tell you is that your guys sitting there, friends, what is it that this guy has not said against an alcohol? He has signified a lot of things about this man. This guy has not done anything. This Fred Akwenyo, your guy sitting there, what is it that he has also not said against the good people of the NPP? In fact, let us stop this propaganda. If this Ladianyanini has probably taken an excerpt from your program and he has spoken about it, I think it is a fair deal. So there's no way of telling him he should be fair and all that. You go to that program and that.
Okay, Baron, thank you very much. But Baron, if you are watching, which I know you are, you basically have problem with everything we do. It simply means one thing, that we certainly cannot satisfy you. But we are not here, Baron, to please personal interest. We are here on the national agenda. We will discuss issues bordering on national development. If in doing so we may have burst your bubble, perhaps you might want to forgive us. But we are not here to denigrate anybody. I mean, like I said, it's purely constructive, our criticism is. So I don't get it. I mean, this clearly is not a platform that is pro-MPP. I mean, in all honesty, it's anti-MPP. So if you call and you are an MPP and you are not happy, really, I don't know what to do, because this is an NDC platform. But even so, we'll make sure we are objective in our analysis. Yeah, Prince, you wanted to make a point?
Oh, well, except to say that
In 30 seconds.
I think that the president is on course. The government is working. JDM is working for you. It's not a slogan. It's actually something that's happening. If you have traveled to Nkoko or to Kumasi through Nkoko, you see the kind of traffic that's there. There's a bypass. Those who travel know it. The Eastern Corridor is coming. The Western Corridor is coming. And I can assure you, the CBD loan is also coming. In fact, what the president has done in the short term is to have the Minister of Finance do bridge financing to allow for at least the gas thing to come in order for us to cure the doomsaw thing. Fortunately, the ECOWAS thing has happened. When the president went to AU meeting, together with his colleagues from Nigeria, Togo, Benin, and Cote d'Ivoire, the promise that is here, that talks about the road infrastructure, includes even that. That is a visionary president working for you. I think that Ghanaians should have patience. MPP, we are not here to work for you.
Certainly not. We are here to work for Ghanaians, not for MPP. Yeah.
Well, Eli, what else can I say? Except to say that the people should just take it easy with us. Ghanaians should understand that development is a process. It's not an everyday event that we can start today and finish today. John Mahama has been in office barely 6 months, 7 months now. And if you look at what he has put in place, the strategy has put in place, really everybody who knows what development is all about can see that this is a president that is very focused, that in spite of all the challenges, in spite of all the distractions, the man is very focused, working. How do we solve the electricity problem? How do we solve the unemployment problem? How do we solve our transportation problem? Bringing back Ghana Airways, our people overseas can travel home and travel abroad and go back. This is the president we are talking about. So they should just remain calm. Let us continue to pray for this president. Let's continue to pray for the minister that we have. We appreciate the fact that we are not going to be in power forever and ever. But the opportunity that the people of Israel have given to us, we want to utilize it. We want to do something that they can remember the president and NDC for.
Okay, obviously the president has a huge chance ahead of him, and we can only wish him well and do our best to contribute towards national development. Thanks for being part of the show, and thanks for watching. I'll be here next week, inshallah. Bye-bye.